Step back in time to early Los Angeles, where vast open fields and giant oil derricks shaped the horizon, long before modern skyscrapers defined the city's skyline. From dared stunt performers dancing on airplane wings to a massive aircraft serving as a local gas station, discover the unbelievable forgotten origins of American aviation. Back in 1910, a spellbinding composite image captures early biplanes, a monoplane, and a dirigible soaring over packed grandstands at the Dominguez Field Aviation Meet. In 1910, a daring race of dirigibles unfolds low over the flat fields of Los Angeles, while spectators watch the airborne spectacle and a distant balloon floats high with All in the Examiner. On January 12, 1910, Luis Paulhan sits perched between the wings of his primitive Henry Farman biplane, soaring past a gas balloon near Dominguez Field as he sets a staggering world record flight altitude of 4,600 feet, with the balloon displaying All in the Examiner. In 1910, pilot Luis Paulhan executes a record-breaking flight over Dominguez Hill's Aviation Meet, his Farman biplane climbing low on the left, held together by wooden struts and canvas, while a massive crowd cheers from the packed grandstands beneath the American flag. In 1910, 9 famous aviators gather at Dominguez Field, lined up side by side, including Hilary Beechey, Colonel Johnson, Glenn Curtiss, Luis Paulhan, Charles Willard, Didier Masson, Lincoln Beechey, Roy Knobenschuh, and Charles Hamilton. In 1910, aviator Elmer Cook controls a Curtiss biplane at the Dominguez Hills Aviation Meet, seated right in the open air, wearing a heavy coat, thick gloves, and goggles, holding the steering wheel while men on the ground steady the aircraft. In 1910, aviation pioneer Glenn Curtiss pilots a simple biplane at the Dominguez Aviation Meet, carrying passenger Jerome Vanchuli perched precariously on the open airframe, sweeping high over tents and banners on the airfield below. On January 12, 1910, Luis Paulhan executes a record-breaking flight reaching an altitude of 4,600 feet over Dominguez Field, sitting bravely between the wings of his primitive Henry Farman biplane, holding firm to the supports as he navigates the skies of Los Angeles. In January 1910, Charles F. Willard brings his Curtiss Golden Flyer in for a smooth landing during the historic first meet, powered by a 4-cylinder engine with 22 to 25 horsepower, reaching speeds of 40 miles per hour. In 1910, aviation pioneer Professor J.S. Zerby stands proudly beside his extraordinary multiplane creation, powered by an 8-cylinder air-cooled engine featuring 5 sets of wings and 2 giant propellers. In 1910, 5 different modes of transportation are captured in a single extraordinary scene: an airplane, a dirigible, a balloon, horseback riders, and an ox-drawn wagon, all gathering before a massive crowd at America's first international aviation meet. In January 1910, another striking composite image captures early biplanes, a monoplane, a gas balloon, and a dirigible floating over the grandstands at Dominguez Field as the entire crowd turns their heads in awe, watching history unfold in the sky. Around 1912, Blanche Scott stands ready to take flight in her stylish aviation gear, becoming a daring pioneer as the first American woman to make a long-distance flight and the first female test pilot. In 1913, Roy Nabenshu pilots his new passenger airship over Pasadena, carrying passengers along the long lower framework with the iconic Raymond Hotel standing proudly in the background. In 1925, an aerial view captures Burdett Airport at 9401 Southwestern Avenue, right at the intersection of 94th Street and Western Avenue in what is now Inglewood. In the 1920s, an illustration depicts a thrilling performance by the 13 Black Cats stunt group at Burdett Airport, daredevils dangling precariously beneath a soaring biplane as spectators watch in awe below. In 1928, a unique brown Mercury tri-motor aircraft sits on the tarmac at Burdett Field, powered by 3 Siemens engines as spectators gather around to admire its sleek design. Around 1919, a massive crowd gathers near Melrose and Crescent Avenues, watching intently as a biplane prepares to land, with the scenic Hollywood Hills rising in the distance to the north. Around 1920, an aerial view looking north over Wilshire Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue during an aviation meet. Cars parked along the open fields while oil derricks rise in the distance, spectators gathering around aircraft with the Mercury Aviation Company building and Chaplin Airfield visible in the landscape. Around 1920, a packed parking lot marks the bustling aviation meet at Vail Field No. 2, looking northeast near the north corner of Wilshire and Fairfax, beneath a large American flag flying proudly above the sign. In 1922, a view looking west shows Rogers Airport, formerly DeMille Field No. 2, featuring the main office of Rogers Aircraft Incorporated and a large billboard. 2 men stand on the porch of the wooden office building while 2 airplanes sit parked in the open field nearby. In 1920, an aerial view looking over Crescent Avenue and Wilshire Boulevard showing undeveloped land dotted with numerous oil derricks, with Chaplin Airfield at the bottom and the historic railway line that would later become San Vicente Boulevard. In 1919, an aerial view looking southeast reveals a bustling crowd gathered at the Sid Chaplin Airdrome positioned at the southwest corner of Wilshire and Crescent Avenues. Dozens of early automobiles line up in neat rows, while airplanes sit parked on the open field nearby. Around 1922, an aerial view from the wing of a biplane looks north over Crescent and Wilshire Avenues, revealing a busy airfield below, with distant oil derricks lining Fairfax Avenue and a bustling Hollywood nestled at the base of the hills. In 1922, an aerial perspective looking west over Wilshire Boulevard at Crescent Avenue, revealing Rogers Airport stretching across Wilshire in the center, Crescent Avenue running horizontally along the bottom, and the railway line angling toward what is now San Vicente Boulevard. Around 1918, a massive military observation balloon hovers just feet above the ground at a training school in Arcadia, ground crew pulling firmly on tether lines to steady the giant airship against a backdrop of military barracks and distant mountains. Around 1918, a panoramic view shows 4 massive observation balloons hovering low to the ground at the balloon school in Arcadia, secured firmly by heavy ropes as soldiers in uniform gather beneath them with tall trees and majestic mountains in the distance. Around 1920, a view of El Miradero and its estate grounds, former home of Leslie C. Brand, 3 vintage cars parked side by side at the intersection of the driveway and walk, where Brand built a private airfield to fly guests in for lavish parties. In 1923, an aerial view looking north over Brand Field reveals the hangar and 10 aircraft on the tarmac, with the estate sitting across the road. showing a steep terrain that made taking off toward the north highly dangerous. In 1919, a 4-seat biplane bearing the insignia of the Venice Aero Police sits on the field at Innsfield in Venice, California, piloted by Otto Swede Meyerhofer with 2 passengers on board and a loyal dog resting calmly under the aircraft's wing. In 1927, the historic Spirit of St. Louis touches down at Vail Field in Montebello, bringing Charles Lindbergh and his iconic aircraft to the Los Angeles area as excited crowds gather to witness aviation history. In 1927, a mechanic prepares the propeller of the legendary Spirit of St. Louis as Charles Lindbergh readies for takeoff to continue his historic goodwill tour across America. In 1926, typical for its era, Vail Field featured an unpaved runway equipped with proper hangars and used for commercial flights long before the rounded Quonset huts of World War II came into existence. On April 17, 1926, pilots prepare their aircraft for Western Air Express' first airmail flight. A line of 4 identical Douglas M2 biplanes stands ready as crews sort large mail sacks near an early mail truck. On August 31, 1927, 2 men in suits stand near an American Railway Express truck at Vail Field, handing over mail packages to pilot Maurice Graham right beside a Western Air Express biplane ready for departure. In 1947, an aerial view captures the bustling Vail Field, home to 220 aircraft serviced by 21 mechanics, featuring a 3,200-foot oiled runway without a control tower, just 7 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. On April 17, 1930, a grand dedication ceremony marks the opening of the new terminal at Alhambra Airport for Western Air Express, as crowds gather in celebration with a Goodyear blimp floating gracefully in the distant sky. In 1929, a Fokker tri-motor passenger plane banks steeply over downtown Los Angeles, soaring high above the newly completed City Hall building below. In 1930, a daring group of dancers performs high atop the wing of a massive Fokker F-32, thrilling a packed crowd below as this 4-engine passenger giant showcases early commercial aviation. In 1936, an unbelievable sight as a massive Fokker F-32 plane is converted into a gas station. Drivers fill up their cars directly beneath the wings of this aviation giant at Bob's Airmail service station on Wilshire Boulevard. From biplanes and giant observation balloons to historic airmail routes and unbelievable landmarks, the early days of flight transformed Los Angeles forever. If you enjoyed this historical journey, please like, share, and subscribe to Old Photo History. Leave a comment below with your favorite memory, and see you next time in our upcoming videos. Thank you for riding along with Old Photo History. If you love exploring the past with us, a small tip via Super Thanks would be a huge motivation, going a long way in helping us discover and produce even more engaging historical content.